So let's just settle. Try and bring your mind to where your body is. And one of the reasons I like to go through the body before we start meditating is because, you know, my mind's always very busy. It takes me such a long time to settle when I sit in meditation because it's wandering, my mind's wandering all over the place. So I find that just going through the body and kind of feeling where the body's at and aligning the body and correcting my posture, it's one way to focus on something other than what's going on in my mind. And it really helps to ground me. So this is why we do it. So check your feet if they're down on the ground, you're sitting at a desk or something. Make sure your ankles are not crossed. So they need to be in a parallel position. And then your hips slightly raised. So if you've got your legs in the regular cross-legged meditation position, you can have them slightly raised. And hi Stephanie, welcome. And Leah, welcome. And you want your sit bones to be a little bit higher. It just kind of helps with the posture. It helps with the, I find that if my sit bones are below my feet or lower than my feet, my upper back starts to hurt very quickly. So this just helps in a way to align the pelvis correctly. And imagine you have your shoulders are aligned with your hips and your ears. You can very gently glide them kind of up and back so that they're in line with the shoulders as much as you can. Let's just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. You can imagine someone who's above you or behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. Let's just put some air in between those vertebrae. You may have been running around all day, pounding them down. So let's just take a nice deep breath. Just release it and just let all that tension from today just go. Head is slightly tipped forward, eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. And good evening, Manuel. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth and relax the jaw. So let's just bring our attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the area around the mouth. And bring your attention to the scalp at the back of the head, particularly at the occipital bone, the base of the skull, and just relax that whole area. And you'll notice your ears and your jaw relaxing. Relax your temples. And even imagine you can shine a nice warm light into your ears. And imagine your eardrum relaxing. And then just see what that does to your jaw. Just release any tension in the back of the neck and the shoulders. And just allow your shoulder blades to drop down. And relax them. And the upper thoracic area in between the shoulder blades. And bring your attention to your throat and relax that area and your chest and belly and limbs, hands and fingers and feet and toes. And bring your mind to the breath. And notice the sensation of the air as you're breathing in is slightly cooler than the air you're breathing out. If there are any sounds in your external environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to let yourself become distracted by them. Welcome, Victor. And then notice the thoughts as they arise in the mind. And just allow them to arise, to abide, and to fall, rather than engaging, following a story, going off down some track. And try not to criticize yourself. So if you have a negative running commentary going on there, maybe try and intercept that. And then bring the mind back to the breath. And just bring to mind again all the people of our life. All our loved ones, our friends, our family, those people that make us laugh. Maybe they send you silly jokes, cheer you up with various different means, bring a smile to your day, shower you with kindness and love and support and warmth. So there's those people. And then there's the ones that we don't like very much. Maybe they've harmed you. And then there's our strangers, the people we're indifferent to. Just bring them to mind and just remember that they all are the same as us in their wish to be happy and to be free from suffering. They're all the same as us in having this unbelievable potential for enlightenment. So I just think we'll be doing this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these beings, all these people in our life, and by extension all sentient beings. And you might want to bring to mind the people who are still suffering from COVID, this ongoing thing we've been dealing with for the past 2 years, and for all the people currently in the path of this conflict in Ukraine. Perhaps you can reach out to someone there, hold their hand, give them a hug. Or maybe you can imagine them sitting here with us doing this meditation. So if there's someone in your life who you think might be happy to do this meditation with you, but they can't be here tonight, and just bring them and put them by your side. So imagine they're remembering, and hello Nina, there's no negativity that cannot be purified. This purification process is a psychological process. We're working on the mind. We create negativity with our mind, so we're going to counteract that by creating positivity. So we're applying here the 4 opponent powers. So the first of these is the power of regret. So first of all, we sincerely regret from the depths of our heart anything we've done to harm another living being on this day, in this life, and in our past lives. And we can think of specific actions of the body and the speech. And sometimes we do things to offend people and we don't even know we've done it. We're not aware of it. So we can maybe regret for sometimes when we've been a bit careless and we're not aware how we've landed, how our words have landed, how our actions have landed. And so the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And given that we know are very familiar. We have quite a close relationship with suffering, many of us. So then we don't want to really invite any more in. So logically it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I am sick of suffering. And then also regret the anger, the attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think again, I'm sick of this suffering. So who can I turn to? What can I do about it? So here we come to the power of reliance. And there's two sections here, refuge and compassion. And the first of these is refuge. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we can see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And so we're not asking Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're wanting to use his methods. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. We're healing ourselves by relying upon his methods. So visualize Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can imagine he is your guru, your teacher, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. He's made of radiant, blissful white light, almost like a hologram, translucent, sitting there above the crown of your head in this cross-legged position on a white lotus and on a moon cushion. And this lotus, just like our enlightened potential, born out of our delusions, this lotus is born out of mud, but untainted by them. And our enlightened potential is born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. Vajrasattva has this beautiful, radiant, youthful face, yet timeless, ageless. He has long, lotus-like eyes, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion and acceptance for you. He has absolutely no critical thoughts, no judgmental thoughts towards you. He just accepts you exactly as you are. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, symbolizing enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, so the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So bring to mind someone you may have harmed recently and think of something specific. And maybe reflect on it. Did you cause them some kind of suffering, perhaps? And maybe develop a sense of compassion for them and just wish for them to be free of suffering, free from suffering. And then think of someone that has harmed you, and although maybe a little bit more difficult, we develop a sense of compassion for them because the suffering they've caused you will just kind of arise as suffering for them in the future. So we develop a sense of compassion for them because of that. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings. I must purify for their sake. So next we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the actual practice of purification. So we are doing this visualization and mantra recitation, and we start with the purification of the body. Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose maybe, or a waterfall, very forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around, enters your crown, and pours into you, filling your entire body completely. And it keeps pouring into you and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid which pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is the purification of the speech. And again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body and forcing out of the top parts of your body all the negativity of your speech. So Lama Rinpoche likes to say it's almost as if the same force as if a wind quite strongly blows a hat off your head. But I personally like to think also of a whale spouting water. So it's with this much force that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you and overflowing, or forcefully overflowing, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And so the next is a purification of the mind. And now imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a room and switch on a light. That light instantly dispels all the darkness in the room. So the same when the light from Vajrasattva's heart pours into you, touches your heart, instantly the darkness of the negativity of the mind, all your depression and anxiety, and your worries and your troubles and your jealousies and weird thoughts and bitterness and grudges and all these things that kind of disturb us, instantly dispelled by this light as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So again, be so delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, our delusions are our own suffering, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, and these are totally purified, gone, finished. And think now there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and wisdom and kindness and compassion. And allow that to expand. So next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And imagine you can, if you wish, 2 mantras each of the visualizations of the body, speech and mind that we've just done. Or, if that's too much, you can just visualize light and nectar coming together as we recite the mantra. And this light and this nectar and the mantra recitation completely eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So now try and feel you're completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve. But first of all, just rejoice in your efforts. Turning up here night after night. Working on your mind. Thinking about things. It's really amazing. Very, very rare and incredibly precious what you're doing. So I thank you and rejoice in your own efforts and your progress. And if I haven't said it when you're here, I have been suggesting that people maybe journal their progress, because you can look back in maybe a month or two and see, hey, this is actually working. I am moving forward in the direction I want to move in on my spiritual path. So it can be encouraging. So That's just a suggestion. Don't have to do it. So now think of something that you've been working on, you would like to work on. So maybe you either extend the time, give yourself a longer period of time before you find yourself engaging in that habit. Maybe it's something to do with speech, biting your nails, whatever. So just think of something to work on between tonight and tomorrow. And just remember, everything exists on the tip of the wish. So we just make an aspiration to be able to refrain from negative actions. And you might find even just doing that, making a vow to yourself, you'll find that situations are arising that are enabling you to practice more mindfully. So you'll find that perhaps once where you were running down one path of negativity, something maybe popped up. Existence provided you with an opportunity to not run down that path. It's all very subtle. So keep your eye out or your ear out, your senses out for existence supporting your practice. Okay. So Vajrasattva, very delighted with us, wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call that union, oneness. So next Rinpoche recommends we meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So as much as you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a moment. You can think of maybe all things as, all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. Think of things as being dependent arisings. Maybe think of things, the way they appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created this evening doing this purification to all living beings, all the people of your life. If there's anyone beside you, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Majjhima's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Sherab, beloved teacher leading your student towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. There we are, gone like a dream, yet again. Thank you very much for hosting, Shayla. And Mary, thank you very much.